Thank you, Yan. So good morning, everyone. Yeah, I see some of you are finding this opportunity to reconnect with your phones. So all good at office? All okay? Yeah. Yeah, so we don't mind because our job is to keep your phones charged. Yeah? Yeah, so I am Nawal, I'm a founder of Plugo, and I'm going to talk about sharing economy. This is one of the use cases. So today, Avi and Carsten, they talked about collaboration, and we started with reuse, right? And repair. So when we talk at sustainability, we talked about repair today, like how we could fix the economy, right? Ms. Fishker talked about it, and just now Chandan emphasized on that as well, right? About circular economy, how we can really reuse and fix things. Now we are talking about how we can really share and share the resources for one of the use cases, which is power banks. Okay, so what is Plugo? Plugo is an Internet of Things enabled automated power bank rental platform. So what I mean from that is, let's say if your phone is low on battery, today you can rent a power bank from one of the kiosks which you see around, and then when you go near your home, you can drop that power bank back. You don't really need to keep two power banks with you all the time, one in your closet and one in your bag, and both of them are not charged, right? So, and increase the lithium footprint. So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to be ubiquitous so that wherever you need, Plugo is like a buddy, and you can just rent a power bank when you really need it. Otherwise, you're good to go, right? And we are the largest shared power bank company in India, and we are the first, we are the category creators here. Okay, so a little bit about myself before we start. So I am the co-founder here of Plugo, and earlier I was an enterprise architect with Cisco for about 11 years and worked mostly on the IoT use cases. This is a picture taken in near Key Monastery in Kaza. So I love biking, which you can make out from this picture. Okay, so what are we trying to solve? I think I gave you a brief overview of the product, right? So let me ask you a question. When do you really feel anxious when your phone battery is low? At what level? Is it like 10%, 20%? Right? So all of us actually get that kind of anxiety, right? When you see that orange icon on your phone battery. So let me tell you, for certain segments, say for gig workers, we actually surveyed about 3,000 gig workers, and they say that they start charging their phones when it is at 85%. Right? So for certain segments, the availability of phone and the charging really becomes critical. So we have all built our ecosystem around charging, right? We have a cable at office, in our cars, at our home. But a lot of people who are on the road or in public places, they don't really have access to the right pin or cable or the charger all the time. So this is what we are trying to solve. And we have developed kiosks. We have developed the kiosk with all the 3 cables and power banks, which you can rent using a QR code. And what we try to do is we help you reduce your lithium footprint by renting these power banks at any point of time. Right? So these are the power banks which you can see, and you can explore in one of the kiosks later in the day today. So I'll just briefly also talk about like how we started and what really helped us build this product. Right? So we incubated ourselves in NASCOM about 3 years back. We spent about 6 months to innovate on the product. And how this whole thing started was when we imagine, let's say, like what really happened with one of our co-founders was, he was actually traveling in Spain, and he was using his Google Translate a lot because not everybody was conversant in English. And at the end of the day, the phone was completely discharged, right? And in order to reach the hotel, instead of 15 minutes, it took 4 hours for him, right? Because he was not really able to book a taxi and use a translate as he wanted to. And probably means many of you can relate to that. We all have actually been in that situation at one point or other, right? Sometimes, right, you have to catch a taxi. So for some people, means we hear this story almost every day, because we have deployed our solution in hospitals, cafes, malls, and lot of similar places, right? So what we do is, let's say somebody is in a hospital and attending to a patient. They can't really sit and they cannot plug themselves next to a charging point, and wait for the phone to be charged, right? They have to just keep moving around, and people are calling them all the time, right? So the service has become really, really critical for a lot of this kind of people in all these different places. So we have deployed our solutions in all these different commercial spaces, metro stations, railway stations, airports, and we have tried to be ubiquitous in a few places like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and we are expanding to few more cities right now. Yeah. So we are currently live in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kochi, and we have also deployed our solution in countries like Germany and Netherlands, and we are also adding more locations like Switzerland and Turkey. Let me talk about some traction here. Within Bangalore itself, if you see, we have more than 150,000 users. Overall, we have like 1.7 lakh users in India, and probably around 20,000 users in Europe right now. We have 1,000+ dispensers and more than 1,000 partnerships, B2B partnerships. We are the largest rental company. When we say it is because we have already served more than 1 billion minutes of rentals. So you may think that the phone battery capacity is going high, and you may not really require this, but certainly a lot of people are really finding use to it. Right, so means we had a dip during the pandemic, but now it has been consistently growing. And I don't want to take this, but means I'll briefly talk about the partnerships which we have. Like, we have done a lot of partnership with quick commerce companies like Zepto, Zomato, Swiggy, Big Basket, delivery, logistics companies, the cloud kitchens, and also we have deployed in a lot of hospitals, metro stations, malls, right? And means we see every day, like we have been a savior for a lot of people in these locations right across. Right, in Europe, we have partnered with many big hotel chains. We have deployed in some theme parks. We have also been active in a lot of cafes and the Düsseldorf airport. If you go there, you can see Plugo. Right, so I can see the smile on the faces of some of the German students looking at the German stores, right? So yeah, so now I'll briefly talk about the sharing economy use case and what is really not being done right, and what can be really, means how can we localize that, right? So you can see this example, right? Like some of these examples are from China and Taiwan, right? So some of that is being done very well there, but not everything is working in sharing economy, right? So if you see these cycles, they are some of the best cycles, but they are all lying unused, and this is a cycle graveyard in China. It has not really worked. A lot of these companies have gone bankrupt. Now, these solutions will not really work in India, and whatever has worked in India may not work for Europe, right? So every solution, this sharing solutions especially, they need to be localized a lot, because we really need to see that what are those kind of use cases where we are really looking at either occasional use, or whether that use case is really suitable for sharing or not. Here if you see the EV swapping stations, right? So today it might be in the same form, it may not really work. We really need to innovate for a country like India. If you see, so that we don't really add to a lot of lithium footprint and have additional charging points. So lastly, I'll just talk about very briefly about the solution which we are looking at. We started the day with collaboration. Avi talked about collaboration, and even Jaideep was talking about collaboration in the morning, right? So what we are looking at is building a kind of a consortium where we can actually have some kind of eco coins. Say, for example, if you are using a shared bike, you can generate some eco coins by the nature of it, and you can trade those eco coins when you rent a furniture, right? So you should be able to have that kind of mechanism, and also it becomes a kind of a consortium to reduce the abuse. A lot of you might have seen shared scooters being abandoned on the flyovers, right? How do we stop that? If we have this kind of a collaboration mechanism, we can do all of that. With that, I close my note. Thank you, TIA, for signing me up. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. If there are some questions, we'll be around to take that. Thank you.